Assalamualaikum.
Now, Beto,
Thank you, sir.
may you like to introduce yourself to all of us?
Sir, my name is Sifat Ullah. I am from district Lucky Marwat of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. I have done my FSc and Matric from Akram Khan Durrani College, Bannu, and have done my BS in English Literature from Islamia College, Peshawar. I have been a part of debates and dramatic society in Islamia College, Peshawar. After that, I have joined Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Elementary and Secondary Education Department as a school leader, where my job is to work for the improvement of education quality at primary schools. In my free time, I like to watch football.
You come from KPK province. KPK province.
Yes, sir. KPK.
Introduce KPK province to all of us.
Sir, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is a province in the northwest of Pakistan, which borders with Afghanistan. The external border touches Afghanistan, and its internal border touches Balochistan and Punjab. The capital of this province is Peshawar, and there are 32 districts in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa.
Okay, you tell us what is the administrative structure of KPK province under the Constitution of Pakistan?
So the administrative structure of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is headed by the Chief Minister of the province, who is an elected MP, a member of Provincial Assembly from within the province. He is then assisted by a team of cabinet ministers who work as the ministers for different departments. Under those ministers, secretaries and deputy secretaries work. Then their work is then there are the field officers who works under those secretaries, deputy secretaries, and joint secretaries.
So this Lucky Marwat is a district or subdivision?
Yes, sir, it is a district.
What is its location? Where it is located exactly?
Sir, it is in the Bannu division of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and it borders with Dera Ismail Khan district of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Miawali district of Punjab, and Bannu district and Karak district.
KPK has got a potential of tourism.
Yes, sir.
A lot of development is, a lot of focus is on it. Do you think there is enough potential to develop tourism in KPK?
Yes, sir. I think Khyber Pakhtunkhwa has a lot of potential in terms of tourism, and that too international tourism as well. Because there are a lot of hill stations along with the historical sites and religious sites for Sikhs as well. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa has the potential, but it could not be achieved to that level at which it should be because of the terrorism issues in the province and those of infrastructure.
Do you know about the National Action Plan, 20 points of National Action Plan?
Yes, a National Action Plan was devised after the attack on Army Public School in Peshawar in 2014. It was a plan according to which all the parties and agencies of law enforcement in the country convened together and formed a uniform pattern of action against terrorism in the country, where it was decided that all those soft corners that were already available to them, to those terrorists, will not be available to them. And after that, military courts were also initiated, which were meant to have quick process of justice for those involved in terrorist activities.
What is the length of border of Afghanistan and Pakistan?
The length of border of Afghanistan and Pakistan, which is also known as the Durand Line, is more than 2,000 kilometers, sir.
2,000 kilometers. It is all completely fencing ho gayi hai ya nahi?
No, sir, it has not been fenced because of the issues of terrain and also because of the resistance from both sides of the border. There is resistance from the official level people from Afghanistan side, and the locals from our side as well do not want this to be fenced because they have adjacent villages, and they have their everyday movement to those villages where they do not want to have their livelihood being carved out.
The Fata area has been integrated with KPK.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think? What is the progress? Do you think it is going satisfactory?
Sir, there has been progress in terms of its integration into the province, and the biggest one is that of police structure is being set up although it has not been implemented fully, but at this time the process has started. At the same time, infrastructure development is being going on, but I think it has not been done at the pace at which it should be done. It should have been done, because there is still Jarga system working there, where the black laws of FCR are still applicable, and they are meting out justice of collective punishment, and no, without any legal process, due legal process to people who even criticize their existence.
Because of this Hamas attack on Israel,
Yes, sir.
there is a change in the balance of power in the Middle East.
Yes, sir.
How you will evaluate it?
Sir, if we look into the recent history, recent past of this region, it was being seen that they were going towards towards the process of peace and stability, and it was believed by some scholars that, as KSA has said, that they will not give up the stance of Palestinian people as well, along with taking steps to recognize Israel as well. So it was being viewed that they might use this as a leverage to have Israel move toward a two-state solution and give Palestinians their due right of peaceful existence or self-determination. But after the Hamas attack, all this process has been sabotaged, and now there has been a clear fronts have been developed, where Iran has been an active participant of that conflict, and that peace process that was in pipeline has been sabotaged as well.
How do you see the future of democracy in Pakistan?
Sir, I think that the future of democracy in Pakistan is bright, because we are seeing that the democratic setup has been allowed to run for the last 10 to 15 years, and democracy is a process, and with the process it can evolve into such a structure where institutions are strengthened, and they act or serve to their fullest potential.
Thank you. Please.
Why reforms are necessitated in public service organizations like PAS, police?
Sir, it is widely viewed that the structure of bureaucracy in Pakistan is that of the colonial setup, and according to the public administration theory, it also belongs to the Weberian type of bureaucracy, which is an outdated model of public service, as the world has moved towards serving the people and service delivery instead of just sustaining the status quo and working according to the rigid lines that are already developed. So for this reason, it is widely believed that the service structure in Pakistan, especially that of administrative structure, needs revamping, so that the focus should be turned towards public good service delivery instead of just functioning as the sole tools for government policy.
Good. What reforms have so far been introduced in the administrative machinery of Pakistan to make it more efficient and effective in the last 3-4 years?
Sir, I am unable to recall any such reforms in the recent past.
Or do you know about any reforms?
Sir, reforms in
other
police
than the
department
recent
have
past?
been implemented, but they have differing status in different provinces, because the police has been made a provincial subject. So
No, I'm not talking about the police. I'll come to the police. Under what law the working of police is being governed?
Sir, the police department of a province act according to police order of 2002.
And prior to that, what was the arrangement?
So I cannot exactly recall the year, but it was of that of the colonial period.
The need for reform was the same as you have described in case of PAS. So, how will you define diplomacy?
Sir, diplomacy in international relations refer to a collective sum of all the actions taken by the state and its representatives to propagate or move forward the objectives of foreign policy of a country.
What is shuttle diplomacy?
Shuttle diplomacy is a term that has been used in the recent past, like in the last 50 years of diplomacy, where a person or a group of persons shuttle back and forth between different parties to act as a diplomatic chain between those parties who are at conflict or are not able to come to terms with each other.
Can we refer to any particular case in this regard?
Sir, shuttle diplomacy was involved when the US and China were able to resolve their issues, and the US was then made able to recognize Democratic Republic of China as a state. Before that, there was no such recognition.
Football. Recently, Pakistan earned great success in the field of football. What
Yes,
was
sir.
that?
Sir, Pakistan for the last 4 times in the World Cup has never been able to win a single match or qualify for the second round in World Cup qualifying matches. But in the recent past, we saw that Pakistan drew in the first leg of the qualifying round against Cambodia. But when they come here to Pakistan and the second leg was played, Pakistan won the match and qualified for the second round.
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSSPMS preparation. CSSPMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSP पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी। रजिस्टर नाउ एट 0316 570-1593.
Yes. You have mentioned one of your weaknesses, knowledge base.
Yes.
But from the answers which you have given to us, I don't think you should write this should be your weakness.
And I think I need to work on my history side because that was not a subject that I opted in my CSS as well.
Okay. Public administration. How will you describe the term organization?
Organization can be defined as a group of individuals that work toward a specific goal and are organized in a specific hierarchy or a chain of command.
What is an informal organization?
An informal organization can be at any setup at any place in a society where different people set in such a relation that they have their own leader or someone who guide their actions, and their set of chain of command is established without any formal authority or legal basis.
What are the channels of communication in the organization?
Such channels of communication can be both upward and downwards, as well as horizontal as well. So there are two channels of communication that are horizontal and vertical. In vertical communication, there is upward communication from the employees or the people lower in the hierarchy chain to the upward people, and then there is downward communication, the vertical communication, where the higher ups give out their commands to people working under them, while the horizontal form of communication in an organization is where people of the similar level communicate with each other or come to terms to form some policy.
Okay, thank you.
Sifat, you have studied literature and you have also studied international relations.
Yes.
In both the areas, we have postmodernist perspectives.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between the postmodernism perspective in literature and postmodernism in politics?
Sir, postmodernism in literature is something which is described as the celebration of the chaos that there was in the European history, in the European society after the world wars. But in international relations, it can be seen that postmodernism has given rise to different theories, where the positivist school of thought has been diminished, and it has been acknowledged that other factors apart from the power and money of a country now matters, and things like identity, ideas, and goals of people also have an effect on the international relations.
Do you foresee a war between China and US?
Sir, I think that the issue, the factor of economic interdependence will be one factor which can serve to deter them from going into a war, because they have a great deal of trade between these two, and at the same time, because of the democratic setup in US, they will not be able to give a lot of loss to those who are involved in or invested in the China market, because a lot of the investors from US have their investment in China, and they will not want to annoy them. So I don't think a proper war can start, but as it was seen in the Cold War, they might start fighting wars in some other state as well. From the side of China, it can be seen that China has always tried to negate the issue of what we can say is that open conflict, but it has tried to give itself more power economically. So it has always been a power that has relied on its own strength instead of taking conflict to the other nation.
You see another Cold War in the offing?
Sir, the Cold War was something that was very drastic. I think they know that the countries have a bit of leniency towards both systems. At that time, the communist system was in total opposition to what the US was propagating. But now, that the system that we see in China is not as much opposite to that of US, because the capitalist status of market in China is almost similar to that of US. And these ideas, the matching of ideas will make this war between them, or this tussle between them, a bit milder than it was.
Give us an example of your leadership. You have mentioned it as one of your personality strengths.
Sir, as I am serving as a school leader in education department, recently we worked together to have a midterm exam for the first time in our district of the primary level government school, where I was chosen as the leader for all school leaders, because there are 72 school leaders working in our district, and I was the one who administered all the process of from making the papers to their evaluation, where I was able to do it in time, and their proper progress was very efficient.
What do you like most about Mikhail Foucault?
Mikhail Foucault, I think, is one of the people who has given us a new understanding of reality. Before him, that strict binary understanding of reality in black and white and truth and falsity was there. At the same time, he has given us this concept of power and its connection with the concept of knowledge as well. So now we can understand how knowledge is being shaped by power, and also how power is being shaped by knowledge.
All right. How do you see civil-military relations in Pakistan at the moment?
Sir, at the moment, civil-military relations are, there is a different view for different parties, because at one side we can see that majority of parties are able to reconcile their interest or their political stances with that of military, and we are now seeing the special initiative for facilitation of investment in Pakistan is SIFC, that is being combinedly held by the Chief of Army Staff and our Prime Minister. But on the other hand, there is a large majority of people following the party of PTI who are vastly against them and are leading towards a rift in the society on this matter.
All right. How do you see the approach of Max Weber and Karl Marx opposing about bureaucracies?
Sir, I haven't read the approach of Marx on this.
Thank you, sir. Sifat Ullah, what is totalitarian state?
A totalitarian state is a state in which all the decision making are centralized in one authority or in a group of people, where the totality of the policy making has no say from the downwards, but the policy making is from upward to downward, and there is no room for disagreement in that.
Okay. Soviet Russia
Yes.
was a totalitarian regime, as well as fascist Italy was a totalitarian regime. What was the difference between these two totalitarian regimes?
Sir, as far as the Soviet Russia is concerned, there is a great deal of difference, because it was a totally different setup, a new form of government, a new form.
In one word. difference, major difference between two, one word difference. It's a very famous.
Sir, I cannot find that single word for this.
Okay, you have read Theories of International Relations?
Yes, I.
Clash of Civilization and Remaking of New World Order. Samuel
Yes.
P. Clinton discussed 7 civilizations. Name
Yes,
those 7 civilizations.
Sir, among those 7 civilizations, one is the Muslim civilization or Islamic civilization. The other is that of Hindu civilization. The third is West. The fourth is Russian. The fifth is that of Russian. I think there is another word along with Russia. I can remember only.
Okay, in the last chapter, he talked about the imminent war between two civilizations.
Yes,
The
sir.
same questions आपको सर ने भी पूछा था. The
Sir,
war between two civilizations. वो किन civilization के दरमियान imminent war according to his thesis.
According to his thesis, that I haven't read his book, but I have read about his book, and the understanding that I have is that he says that the civilization that will clash are the Western civilization and that of Muslim civilization.
Sure.
I think so.
Okay, when happened Bretton Woods Conference?
Bretton Woods Conference, sir, the first was in 1945, where the Bretton Woods institutions were developed, and the other was in 1972.
Okay, IMF और World Bank की working में difference क्या है?
Sir, World Bank works or its focus is on the development of countries, while the IMF works on the sustenance or making sure that the countries survive economic crisis or their economic suppressions.
What is diarchy?
Diarchy is a concept that was introduced in the 1919 reforms in the Indian subcontinent under Montagu Chelmsford reforms. Diarchy was a setup in which the administrative setup was divided into two different parts. And
वो कौन से दो थे?
Sir, one was given to those who were held by the executive or the Governor General Council. They were the major part, like the finance and the irrigation were held by them. But the other were given to the local elected people.
वो कौन से थे?
They were like that of agriculture that depended on irrigation of the held by those of the British. So all those are powers that dependent on the finance or the ministries held by the Britishers were given to the local people.
My last question: cause for the failure of Wavell Plan.
Sorry, sir, I cannot recall.
Thank you.
Let's conclude it. सिफत उल्लाह, तुम्हारा ठीक है काम, पर्सनालिटी ठीक है, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल तुम्हारे बेहतर है, और यूर इंटेलिजेंट, कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल नॉलेज के साथ आता है, पोस्चर आपका ठीक है, इम्पैक्ट आप टोन भी ठीक है, इम्पैक्ट भी ठीक है ना? अच्छा, तुम मेहनत कर रहे हो, कीप इट अप.
Yes, sir.
अपने आप को स्टेट ऑफ प्रिपेयर्डनेस में रखो, ठीक है? न्यूज़पेपर पे तवज्जो दो. कब है तुम्हारा इंटरव्यू?
Sir, it is expected in December.
Okay, lucky you are. You have got all the time to improve.
Yes, sir.
एक तो ये है कि न्यूज़पेपर की रीडिंग बाकायदा करो, उसमें नेशनल, इंटरनेशनल और सोशल इश्यूज पे निगाह रखो.
Yes.
और दूसरा, तुम एक नोटबुक बनाओ, समथिंग लाइक दिस,
Okay, sir.
ठीक है ना? एक पेज के ऊपर आपने हेडिंग लिखना है, 1 2 3 4 पॉइंट, जैसे पावर पॉइंट पे बनाते हो ना,
Yes, sir.
इसी तरह तुम्हारे पास पॉइंट हो. से एनर्जी सेक्टर ऑफ पाकिस्तान, अफगानिस्तान, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, इन्फ्लेशन क्या है, डिवैल्यूएशन क्या है,
Yes, sir.
ठीक है ना? तो 1 2 3 पॉइंट जो आप डिस्कशन में उनको थ्रो कर सके,
ठीक है, sir.
दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. और उनको फिर आपने डेली बेसिस पे प्रैक्टिस करना है
Right.
कि अगर आपने 100 टॉपिक पे बना दिए तो 100 बार गर्दानी करके देखो कि पॉइंट्स क्या है.
Right, sir.
जैसे डॉक्टर साहब ने पूछा, इन्होंने पूछा, इस किस्म के सारे टॉपिक करो, तो नॉलेज गैप इंप्रूव हो जाएगा, यानी यू विल बिकम मोर knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So that will help you. So, but you have got all the potential to increase. KPK में competition is very tough.
Yes, sir.
तो तुम्हें थोड़ी सी हिम्मत करनी पड़ेगी, तैयारी
Inshallah.
करनी पड़ेगी,
Inshallah.
ठीक है ना? तो best of luck from our side. God may help you.
Thank you, sir.
पोटेंशियल तुम्हारा ठीक है, रिटर्न क्वालिफाई कर गए हो.
एक चीज सिर्फ मैं आपको, जब पैनल पे जब आईआर का सब्जेक्ट लिखा होता है ना, तो उनकी एक्सपेक्टेशन भी बहुत बढ़ जाती हैं. इट मीन्स कि क्योंकि ये इतना बड़ा कैनवस है, इसमें हिस्ट्री भी है, पॉलिटिकल साइंस भी है, इसमें इकोनॉमिक्स भी है, इसमें सारे सब्जेक्ट्स आ जाते हैं,
राइट
करंट अफेयर भी है इसमें, तो सब कुछ है।
बिल्कुल
लेकिन वो सॉरी
तो जो है ना अपनी सरफेस नॉलेज से बढ़ करके और क्रिस्प किस्म के आंसर्स देने, वहां पर इतना टाइम नहीं होता बहुत डिटेल में आंसर्स देने का। ठीक है, पॉइंट्स में आंसर्स देने हैं आपने। ठीक है, तो अपनी तैयारी थोड़ी सी
एनालिटिकल क्रिटिकल, ये दो चीजें होती हैं, ओरिजिनलिटी,
राइट
इन चीजों को अप्रिशिएट किया जाता है वहाँ।
ठीक है
ठीक है ना,
थैंक यू
चलो बेस्ट ऑफ लक।
थैंक यू सर